Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations podcast. Grab friends to which fan the business talk about these other reasons.
Yep. This time on was it last Saturday that it was different? Or yeah, it was. So yeah, on Saturday this time. uh, so yeah, kind of an uneventful week for me. Didn't have work on Wednesday. Tried to do a game stream, but my internet connection kept cutting out. Actually planned on doing a stream today, but I was just tired. I'll try tomorrow. Uh, yeah, just kind of a meh week. And boy, next week's is going to be kind of busy because, like, yeah, next Friday I might be pulling a double shift. I can talk about that next weekend. Um, yeah, not really much to talk about, really. Oh yeah, the Minecraft mod got updated. I need to check to see if it stopped crashing. I'll do that at some point. Yeah, nothing really to report. So how was your week?
Well, of course, I was trying to just getting back into no routines after 3 days out of town. Uh, Trying to put up with a certain date. It's probably not the way I wanted, but hopefully some point this month we'll, my family and I will prepare a little something. Since we're working on a couple of forthcoming reservations, but as well as something small of interest that might also happen this coming week, but if there are things to prep for, but otherwise, also doing for Ace later weekend for events. That's kind of forget about, but basically took care of some plans that I need to take care of. Did manage to catch from my back wound. Just need to do this weekend at some point. It had been a bit slow, but still managed to get this out of the way nonetheless. Did manage to restrain that. Item of sorts should hopefully be able to sometime later this month.
Okay.
But yeah, get back to the swing things fine. Just need to advise some people about their plans for the month. Take care of a few other smaller things. Managed to get a sheet done with time to spare. But yeah, just gonna sort out future plans, few small things, and others doing well in terms of getting back into how things are normally.
Mhm. Hmm. Okay then.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, so this month we have something a bit different. I I didn't actually see this series, but going off what I saw the first episode so far, not bad.
Yes, for the second time in the history. Yes, it was the second time ever in the show, as well as in a row. Trick through my childhood library, most of the obscure stuff. This time, once again, centers around a central theme.
Yep. So stay a while and listen as we discuss the New Adventures of Zorro episode 1. And yes, that was a reference because the main character is voiced by Michael Gao. That came from Diablo. It's like I saw that it's like, oh, I have to use the line. Uh, so yeah. So some guys are transporting some blasting powder, and they get raided. Zoro shows up, fights off the guys, but they get away with the blasting powder. Or who, uh, the guy Zoro was stopping got the blasting powder. So it's like, oh no, what to do? And so yeah, so later we get to see like, okay, nice place. The normal people yeah, the normal people like Zoro. It's like, champion of the people. But Isabella who is obviously the love interest for this series, like, who could Zoro be? What about you? Not the main character. You Zoro started showing up like a week after you showed up. So clearly it must be you. Like what? No, I'm like into agriculture and stuff. I'm here to check the dirt and stuff. Likely story. Hey Diego. Hey, goes back to reading the book. Yeah, he is. Diego is definitely not Zero. Definitely not. So Isabella gets this brilliant idea of like, okay, so they closed off this one area, so clearly I should go investigate. Brilliant. And yeah, she gets captured. It's like, yeah, you're not supposed to let anyone in here out alive. So yeah, we're gonna have to make an example of you. So like, oh great, first episode, damsel in distress. Okay, off to a great start here. Zero shows up and yay, rescue! So he fights the guys. A fire gets started, and Isabella ends up getting taken away by Zoro's horse who got spooked. But the horse knows to go back home. Zoro, to the Zoro cave. So Isabella gets the air. It's like, huh, who could Zoro be? How about anything in these documents? No. Also, there's this mute guy there, Bernardo. He's like Zoro's assistant. But yeah. Meanwhile, that agriculturalist guy I mentioned, he gets captured because Zoro showed up a week after you got back here. So clearly, you must be Zoro. I mean, to be fair, that isn't like the worst leap in logic I've seen. Because, I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, you can see the logic there. I mean, it's wrong, but, you can see how they got to that point. It's like, okay, clearly this is not Zoro, but we can use him as bait. So Zoro, getting back to the cave, like, this has been a long day. Takes off the mask and everything, despite knowing that the horse was gonna go back to the cave, and he should have known that Isabella would also possibly be there. So yeah, Isabella finds out that Diego is Zoro. Oopsie. So it's like, okay, wait, what? But yeah, Diego explains what was going on, how like basically the big bad of the series, uh, Captain Montesero. Like, yeah, apparently he's been an issue for a while, and even before he went on his trip, it's like, okay, I need to do something about him. So he decided to take on the guise of Zoro, and yeah, here we are. So of course Isabella wants to help. Like, we're talking about serious stuff here. Like, it's dangerous. Like, yeah, but you're gonna need help, aren't you? It's like, fine. I- So, so they find out that the next day they find out that the agriculturalist guy is going to be put to death unless Zoro surrenders himself at such and such location. So like, okay, so they're over there. And that spot is a bridge, so clearly that's where they're going to try to ambush me, or get rid of me. Now they have the blasting powder. We kind of want to get that back. So you two, Isabella and Fernando, there's a route down this way that avoids the patrols. We can get to the blasting powder, do that while I distract them. So Zoro goes to the spot that they told him to go to. And it's like, okay, I'm here. Let him go. Like, Zoro. Like, yes, he is. It is he, that guy, right here. This is not a trick. This is the genuine person who is not who is not at all someone else in disguise. Not even really disguised, really, because there's a large weight difference between the two. But yeah, it's like even Zoro knows that, like, okay, seriously, guys, you couldn't even get the body shape right. Yeah, they spring their trap and start cutting the ropes off the rope bridge. Like, oh no, the bridge is gonna fall. Except Zoro has a grappling gun. Yes, of course he does. So he and the guy fight. And like, watch out! Oh, they'll all blow us both up. As he uncovers a hatch into a section down below. Like, you'd think that wouldn't do, but check again. Like, the blasting powder, it's gone. Yes. However, that's a match. That's the fuse. Blasting powder is over there. It'll blow us both up if you don't sign his release form. Like, seriously, you think we're going to? You want to get blown up? Fine. So he signs the release form, and Zero uses his whip to snuff out the flame from the fuse. And then the guy attacks with the torch, like, ah, he blocks it, but it sends the torch over to a bush by the blasting powder, and yeah, they fight some more, and okay, the blasting powder's about to blow. Like, the other guy hides in that hatch that the blasting powder was in, and Zoro grapple hooks away. So next day, Isabella is worried about Zoro. Like, I don't know if he escaped the explosion. Hey, have you seen Diego today? Huh, no, I haven't seen him since last night. Then the agriculturalist guy shows up. Like, yeah, they just signed my release form just now. I don't know how this happened. Also, there's 2 barrels of blasting powder, which is just enough for what we had planned for it, because the blasting powder was stolen from them. But like, okay, yay, we can do our thing now. Isabella's still worried, like, ah. Diego shows up, like, I shouldn't have stayed up so late reading. And wow, I relate to that statement. Like, the times, the many times I've stayed awake late at night reading. Like, ah, okay, good, you're good, right. Okay then. Of course, he's a bit wounded, but it's the end of the episode, so he'll be fine by the start of the next one. Yeah, that was episode 1 of the New Adventures of Zoro, the 1997 version. There's actually like an 80s version as well. But yeah, it turns out they just have the episodes up on YouTube, so that was convenient.
Four from
Uh,
a, I mean, I mean, all 6 that were on a D- DVD that my mother actually got, which helped me to introduce the characters, yours truly. Plus a few fan recording, fan recordings, because weirdly enough, as I mentioned, that is the only DVD release they have.
huh. Yeah, I'm actually on the wiki page right now. So yeah, the show's first 10 episodes were released on VHS in 1998. 6 episodes were released on DVD in 2004, and were re-released in 2010. And the show has 2 seasons. So yeah, but yeah, the list of the voice actors they have in this show, like, pretty impressive. Ed Asner, E. Bradley Baker, Clancy Brown, Jennifer Hale, Mark Hamill, Ron Perlman, among others.
quite interesting how I managed to find a few that I can express and recognize from past decade cartoons. Oppenheimer, Pat Fraley, Susan Blue. Other notes for recent times are Brian Cummings, Animaniacs Fit Jess Arnell, yeah, Ross. Yeah. At least two of these have said they left us. If any comments are correct. One of them, I have to say, is practically spot on when it came to the role he was chosen for.
Yeah, speaking of Michael Goad, so he also voices Gopher from Winnie the Pooh. And now I'm imagining Gopher, like the whole stay a while, listen bit, but with the Gopher voice. uh, yeah, he's done a lot of video game voices. But yeah, fun episode. Funny how the female character went from damsel to distress to assistant in the span of like 7 minutes.
Looking back, surprisingly reminds me of the original Bucky Barnes, way back in the very first ever Captain America comic, which of course has that classic cover with the Hitler punch and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the voice acting was good.
Specifically, I was talking about Earl. I'm not sure how many other versions of Montecero I'll probably ever come across, but he'd probably be one of the more definitives. Was one of the more definitives.
Yeah.
Practically ingrained in my head. Probably see over time the next few episodes will line up, but one of his. Second command, it's a few interesting characteristics that might get. Special attention. And I've said it at least a few times now, but I still think that TV show composers need a lot more recognition a lot more recognition
Yeah.
wherever present, because it's not just the music with the episode itself, but that is probably one of the best cartoon openings I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That theme song was just so good. Finally, interesting story how I came across this. I kind of already touched this up earlier, but full version. Mom and I were reading a book series called Skipping on Jones, in which the title character has a Zorro-like alter ego. And basically, Mom purchased the DVD that was available at the time, just to give me a better understand the exactly what sort of parody that was supposed to be about. By the way, I suggest you check that book series out, and hopefully you'll find some. You'll find the author's own audiobooks. She's actually pretty good in terms of her vocal performances.
Okay.
But yeah, one thing led to another, and I actually still have that DVD, so just open over into a few more of the cast members over time.
And here's hoping more episodes are found and put online.
Possible save remit, unless admittedly unlikely due to current management, but Warner's, which I think has the current jurisdiction, will eventually release a complete series, Blu-ray, DVD, or has it available on streaming. Like I said, with current management, it's questionable at this point, but still.
Yeah, it's like, and apparently the entirety of the show's been found up in English into languages other than English. Like, you got the Spanish and the Russian dub, but yeah, as far as English goes, only 8 out of the 26 episodes are actually available, according to the Lost Media Wiki.
But yeah, still going on the disc. Glad I am quite familiar with this particular franchise, and also quite familiar with some of the things I've spawned as a result. Of course, most of you are, of course, familiar with the certain inspirations that have come from this.
Yeah, it's good show, and it from what I've seen so far, it definitely deserves a good look. It deserves a you know it deserves more attention than a proper release. And again, a lot of shows like deserve a proper release. Saying that as a MLP fan, where we got neither seasons 8 nor 9 on DVD. Anyway,
Even so, the 6 that are available from DVD standpoints will at least give you a good idea of the context, how good it was, and hopefully as time goes by, things will improve.
yeah. Also, quick, actually, I was gonna say, I noticed that we don't have episode 3. I'm guessing episode 3 is one of the ones that isn't actually available to watch. Like 1, 2, 4, 5. Like, oh, yeah. Uh,
I was mostly going by the ones that I remember the most from the sets that I own. Uh,
ah, but also the fact that episode 3 isn't even available. I mean, unless we wanted to watch it in Spanish. Uh,
if that's not weird enough, if that's not weird enough, the arrangements on the disc, as is with most of the non-complete series releases, randomized. And this was the last on the actual set. This was the last on the disc that I still own.
Speaking of dubs, apparently interesting fact. Apparently, yes, supposedly the Russian dub of a season 2 episode actually still has the audible English vocal track underneath the Russian dialogue. So, that's an interesting tidbit. Uh,
Kind of same across a lot of dubs that I've heard on occasion. Movies especially.
yeah. Yeah, voice acting was good, music is good, animation is solid for the late 90s. Yeah. uh, Ready then. Okay. So, hopping into the news, I guess. Tony Hawk explains controversial Pro Skater 3 and 4 soundtrack changes. Quote, "It was my choice." I made changes? I mean, okay, to be fair, with these kind of games, I figure licensing issues having something to do with it. Okay. Okay. They apparently decided to introduce a mix of new and classic tracks for Pro Skater 3 and 4, stating that he hoped players would enjoy discovering new music as with the original games. Quote, "It was my choice to pick some different songs by the same artists featured the original in the original OST. I'm hoping that discovery is half the fun and a big reason that the soundtracks resonated in the first place. So listen and enjoy the ride, more to come, both old and new." So not so much licensing issues, but like, oh, okay, trying to get introduce people to new music via the game. So okay, I can kind of see that. Uh, as mentioned, go ahead.
On a simple note, I heard Kid Cudi was in the business long before doing the Sonic 2 song, so yeah, that's a good marketing tactic.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, usually when they change or remove music, it's due to licensing issues. Like, oh yeah, we lost the license to this song, as seen in the case of almost every single GTA game. So, as mentioned last week, we actually got a leaked list of the new Mega Pokemon from Pokemon Legends ZA. Note that this list may not be final, but as a refresher, we got Clefable, Victory Bell, Starmie, Dragonite, Meganium, Feraligatr, Skarmory, Frostlass, Emboar, Excadrill, Scolipede, Scrafty, Electros, Chandelure, Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja, Pyroar, Malamar, Dragalge, Halu- Hawlucha, Eternal Floette, Barbarical, Bar- Barbarical, Zygarde, Drampa, and Phalanx. Anime restarts with the first episode this summer. Starts first episode. Wait, what? Okay, the show's resuming in the summer, but restarting from the first episode. Oh, so they're pulling a DBZ. Okay, makes sense. Okay, yeah, apparently the anime premiered on October 7th, but they delayed the 8th episode onward because the staff decided like they needed more time to maintain the series quality. So they re they rebroadcasted the first 6 episodes. that makes sense. Like, I mean, good on the for wanting to like put out a good quality show. Genwire Atelier Meister anime gets a same day English dub. Okay, who do we got? Anyone I recognize? Siren Strange, or however you pronounce that name. I want to say I recognized them from the convention scene. Plus, on the other hand, not really ringing any bells. Koisuru One Piece's spin-off anime shorts reveal 5 more cast members. Probably not gonna recognize anyone, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. Nope. Sword of the Demon Hunter anime reveals additional cast. Okay. I got nothing. One of these days, I swear I will recognize one of the names. News Asia licenses Dandana and second season anime's theatrical premiere. TMS Entertainment streams North American premiere of Big X Anime's 11th episode on YouTube. Oh boy, let me try pronouncing this one. Osanana Chimi to wa Love Comedy Naranai Rom-Com manga gets a TV anime in 2026. Anime Limited announced its release of X-Arm Collector's Blu-ray on May 19th. I think I recall seeing something about this, how it's how that anime is infamously bad, which of course means you gotta check it out. uh, Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings has been nominated for Best Animation at the Webby Awards. The official trailer for Phineas and Ferb for the Phineas. The official trailer for the Phineas and Ferb revival has been released. The revival releases on Disney Channel on June 5th. Adventure Time side quests will reportedly premiere on Cartoon Network in 2026. The episodic series follows the early days of Kid Finn and best buddy Jake fighting monsters on epic quests. Bad Guys 2 is set to release in theaters on August 1st, 2025. Coyote vs. Acme is officially looking to get a worldwide theatrical release in 2026. The film was saved by Ketchup Entertainment, who bought it for $50 million. A Tom and Jerry DVD collection will release on May 13th in honor of the show's 85th anniversary. The DVD will include 30 shorts from the original show. The live-action slash hybrid Aristocats movie is expected to release, or Aristocats remake is expected to release in November of 2026. Oh my god, it's cats all over again.
I don't think it'll be quite that direction.
Wait, hold on. When was this posted? It's like
let's just say I got behind on a couple of.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say I found myself behind on a couple of things.
Okay, to be fair, I was just double checking to see if it was an April Fool's thing or not. Because don't forget, we recently had that.
Yeah, admittedly, I had to check at least one of my posts to see if that what see if the news bite wasn't. I had to double check to
Yeah,
make sure it
because
wasn't. You get the idea.
yeah. I mean, to be fair, that does like something they would release as an April Fool's post. Uh, so apparently, 3 new John Wick movies just got announced this week. Uh, find out more. Okay, I'll click on this link. Okay, let's see now. We got Chapter 5, a Kane spinoff, and an animated prequel movie. Okay. The Fantastic Four director Matt Shackman says there are no other superheroes in their universe. Quote, there are no Easter eggs, there's no running into Iron Man or whatever. They're it. Richie talks to direct Roadhouse 2. Because sure, why not a sequel decades after the original? Unless there was a Roadhouse remake. Was there a Roadhouse remake? In which case... Oh, they did a Roadhouse in 2024. Never mind. To be fair, sequels to decades-old movies isn't exactly a new thing these days. Got the first trailer for Not Just a Goof, a documentary about the making of a Goofy movie, releasing April 7th on Disney Plus. So Monday. First official look at Zootopia 2 in theaters November 26th. The first look, apparently Nick and Judy are in partner therapy. Alright. Got a new trailer for Fantastic Four. Shows the Four having to calm the public of the impending doom that Galactus brings. Also, apparently Sue Storm is pregnant in the movie, so... Okay, so... Jumped into that plot point rather quick. Jared Leto reconfirms Tron Ares will be going into the real world. Okay, Disney's official 2025 slate. Thunderbolts, The Amateur, Predators Badlands, Fantastic Four, Lilo and Stitch, Ella McKay, Elio, Zootopia 2, Freakier Friday, The Roses, Avatar Fire and Ash, Tron Ares, and Deliver Me from Nowhere. Halle Berry says she isn't returning as Storm in Avengers Doomsday. Quote, keep waiting. It's not going to be there. Del- yeah, development on the live-action Tangled movie has been stopped indefinitely. SpongeBob is revealed to be a fan of Snoop Dogg songs in SpongeBob SquarePants Search for SquarePants. Mark Hamill had this to say on voicing the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob SquarePants Search for SquarePants. Quote, I did such a good job in one episode of Season 5 of SpongeBob that they finally asked me back. If I've done a good job, every kid in America will soon hate me. The animated Avatar The Last Airbender movie is titled The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, starring Eric Nam, Dave Bautista, and Steven Yeun. In theaters January 20th, 2026. Paramount CEO teases that the discourse around Trey Parker and Matt Stone's new musical comedy movie will be extremely loud. Oh god, they're doing a new musical comedy movie. Oh boy. Got, got the first trailer for the Naked Gun reboot starring Liam Neeson. In theaters August 1st. The new Thomas Crown Affair movie will release in 2026 in theaters, directed by and starring Michael B. Jordan. The story follows a rich playboy who enjoys stealing art for a hobby, but meets his match in an insurance investigator who quickly fall for each other. A live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon 2 is in the works, in theaters June 11th, 2027. A new trailer for Jurassic World Rebirth shown at CinemaCon revealed the scene from Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park novel, where the team attempts to drift through a lagoon in a raft with a T-Rex in tow. Scarlett Johansson says the aim with Jurassic World Rebirth is to bring scares back to the franchise. The first trailer for South Park Season 6 has been releasing on July 9th. The new season includes Diddy, a violent war against Canada, and air traffic control chaos. Oh, they're doing another war against Canada. Been a while. The first trailer for Star Wars Tales of the Underworld has been releasing May 4th on Disney+. The digital edition of Mario Kart World cost $80, with $90 being the cost of the physical release. Donkey Kong Bonanza will cost $70, and the Nintendo Switch 2 is currently set to cost $449.99, or $500 bundled with Mario Kart World. However, that was announced hours before a particular incident happened involving finances everywhere. The pre-order date for the United States has been postponed, and they're currently trying to see how things play out. With how things are currently set, the Switch 2 could potentially cost upwards of $600. On the plus side, Nintendo apparently has a plan to combat scalpers, so plus side? Yeah, this is an ongoing situation, so we'll update as things happen. Other games in that. Oh, yeah. So announcements from the Nintendo Direct. Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming July 17th for Nintendo Switch 2. Kirby Air Riders was announced. A exclusive From Software game, The Dusk Bloods, has been announced for 2026. It's like, ooh, so they dragged in From Software to get some exclusivity in there, sweeten the pot a bit, get more incentive to go to the console, since, these days on the other two consoles, basically almost everything's going to PC eventually. Cyberpunk 2077 coming to Switch 2 on launch day. Nintendo GameCube games will be coming to Switch 2 via Nintendo Switch Online, starting with Zelda Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2, and F-Zero GX. A wireless GameCube controller will also be coming for the Switch 2. You had a first look at Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, releasing this winter on Switch 2. Basically covering that point in time where Zelda got transported back in time during Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, okay. There will be a Bikini Bottom level in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. The new James Bond game will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Split Fiction will be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition coming to Switch 2 this year. Although I'm not 100% sure, but I think I heard that at that one. So they have this thing where it's like some games will have the game cartridge, but the whole game won't actually be on the cartridge. It'll just be a key to play the game from a digital download. So at this point, what's the point anymore? Got a new poster for Pokemon Legends CA, new artwork for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are coming to Switch 2 with enhanced frame rate and visuals. With a Switch 2 upgrade edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree releasing July 24th with new minigames. Switch 2 releases June 5th. It includes a larger screen at 7.9 inches, a Joy-Con can be used as a mouse, 256 gigabytes of download space, and supports 120 FPS at 1080p. Switch 2 will also have a group camera feature and built-in game chat feature. That's what the C button is for. It's for the chat. Okay, cool. So yeah, Mario Kart Roll, 24 drivers in each race, and you can drive off the course and just go around the map. Launches on the same day as Switch 2.
And judging by the chat previews, I can't help but wonder if they were taking some inspiration from a certain software that we've been using for a while now for the show.
Quite possibly. It does look fairly similar. Also, one other thing of note for the Switch 2, apparently in Japan they're going to have a cheaper version release of it, but it'll be region locked Japan. Basically, we're saying like, oh, okay, we don't have to We don't have to worry about a financial shenaniganry, selling to our own people. So like here, and you depending on what day one exploits they find, who knows what could happen. Because the hackers never sleep. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel is officially happening at Netflix, focused on more adventures on Cliff Booth. Quentin Tarantino wrote the script but decided not to direct. Brad liked it so much he wanted to pitch it to Fincher. James Gunn says he chose to direct The Suicide Squad back in 2018 instead of Superman, as it felt like the easier option. New theatrical animated Flintstones, Tom and Jerry, and Looney Tunes movies are officially in the works at Warner Brothers. Like, oh, so now they care about animation.
Like I said, this is where I had to do a thorough examination to make sure I wasn't just seeing a certain date.
Yeah.
Just gonna have to wait and see at this point.
Yeah. Okay, stuff about the John Wick movies. The John Wick spin-off Kane is moving forward with Donnie Yen set to direct and star. The film will be stylistically modeled after Yen's previous action films. What is actually happening? The story has been decided. Like, ooh, ominous. Like, this movie's happening. The story has been decided. And like I said, a John Wick prequel anime movie is in the works. Directed by Shannon Tyndall, Keanu Reeves will return, and follows John Wick killing all of his rivals in one night to free himself from the High Table. Got a first look at Beyond the Spider-Verse in theaters June 4th, 2027. Tom Holland says Spider-Man Brand New Day is a fresh start. But it's exactly that. That's all I can say.
And of course, no relation to how it happened in the comics.
Yeah. Also, release date July 31st, 2026. First poster for the Chainsaw Man movie in theaters October 29th. Set as his Resident Evil film were focused on one central protagonist going on a point A to point to B journey, slowly falling more into hellish territory. In theaters September 2026. Yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse will release June 4th, 2027. Apparently it's... Beyond the Spider-Verse is bigger and bold than its previous two, with an entire team working on new animation techniques. Sydney Sweeney is in talks to star in the Gundam movie. Tom Hardy says a Venom and Spider-Man crossover with Tom Holland got as close as I... What? got as close as I could possibly imagine getting it. Bleh. Quote, it got as close as I could have possibly imagined getting before it all fell apart. David Zaslav reportedly wants to focus on big IP movies at Warner Brothers rather than the filmmaker-driven projects that Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi have greenlit. Jason Momoa confirms he is returning for Dune 3. Quote, if you didn't read the books, it's not my fault. They're set to direct the UFC movie. Dana White will produce with the UFC with Turkey Al-Sheikh also producing. It follows a young fighter rising from the rough streets of LA to get a shot at a, a UFC championship. God, my brain's going too fast for my mouth. Got an official poster for the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX. Matthew Lillard had this to say on returning as Stu in Scream 7. Quote, I'm very excited and slightly terrified to be back because all I can do is really screw up the legacy that we have. The Minecraft movie is what the world needs right now. Quote, there's so much violence and war and hatred, and that's what I love about this movie. There's a lot of love in it, and there's a lot of creativity. There's some anger and violence too, but in the end, it's about friendship and working together to make the world a better place. And from what I've read so far, it's actually doing pretty good. I think it's like 100, what was it, like 100 million box office weekend or something. Let me double check. Minecraft movie.
It is, all things considered, though, one of those cases where it's performance versus critics, where its performance numbers seem to be outspeaking them.
Fair. But I mean, the fact that it's already gotten so much money back on the investment is a good sign. It, we'll see if it keeps up this pace. Take-Two CEO has revealed they are purposely not revealing the GTA 6 release date yet to maintain anticipation. Marketing for the game won't begin until very close to launch. Dan second season unveils a new cast member, a visual, and a July 3rd premiere. Bravely Default Flying Fairy 3DS game gets a Switch 2 HD remaster. Like, okay, I could go for that. I mean, I have the original game on 3DS, but like, okay, HD remaster, sure. Apparently, the Seattle Mariners are going to be holding a One Piece night on April 8th. Yeah, Seattle Mariners ticket holders will receive a Mariner-themed One Piece t-shirt and enjoy pre-game activations at Victory Hall. I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's cool. apparently the Boston Red Sox will host their second One Piece themed day on May 3rd. They need a new stage play in July. Oh my! So I was just going over the page, like there was a Chargeman Ken stage play. Why? If you don't know, Chargeman Ken is like an infamously bad anime. It's like Speed Racer had more frames of animation than Chargeman Ken. That's how bad Chargeman Ken is. You don't watch it because it's good, you watch it because it's bad. And it got a stage play. I'm gonna have to look into that. What? Uh,
And now I remember the biopic regarding Tommy Wiseau's The Room again. The making, to be precise.
yeah. Yeah, back to the Minecraft thing. Yeah, apparently it's the best opening in 2025 so far. So, yay for video game movies?
First was from Glenn Hall's The Bride. Revealing Bride, Frankenstein's Monster, Origins, and Causing Chaos in Already a Monstrous World. Of course, the second part of it got a select. Of course, the second part of it got a slotted Sunoicon as well. No Good Deed for Good, two of the songs included. Got a reunion scene.
So apparently the Minecraft movie also got leaked online with unfinished CGI. So alternative funnier way to watch the movie. I like that comment. Minecraft without the texture pack. uh, Honestly, if it gets enough, that gets enough traction, I say put it as a bonus feature on the Blu-ray release. uh,
Anyway, Cynthia also promises less waterworks press tour. But Rita Grande has packed tissues.
Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and American Dad have been renewed for 4 more seasons at Fox.
Amy Pascal, David Haven, now starting to work on the next James Bond. Got some preview pages for Tournament of Mysteries, and Symbiote's going to be coming out with some new jumbo-sized plushes.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are some of the games getting free Switch 2 updates, so better frame rate, I suppose.
So it's going to be the first time in years that a Madden NFL series will be coming to Nintendo.
Bandai, Nam- Bandai Namco confirms free upgrade to the Switch 2 edition of Shadow Labyrinth for owners of the Switch 1 version of Shadow Labyrinth, which, if you don't know, is like the dark, gritty Pac-Man-ish game. I mean, hey, if it works. Let's just hope this isn't another Bomberman Zero situation.
I think what you were looking for was Bomberman Act 0.
Close enough.
Great Summer Fest is New Venture. I've got one to finish. Mark has found himself in a standing swamp. Where they were complete, near the complete on 197. You built St. Leo Legend, spent summer at West Somerset. Green Elevators, Minnesota, Manitoba, honored by CBKC. Buckhart, However, like Sierra, on front journey from Bishop to Sierra Foothills. We got a vacation rental called Stuart Train House. You see more horseback, Hammond Sports, Alco Switcher. Let's try for number 90. It's had test runs after latest 1472. events listed for Sioux City Railroad Museum. To obtain declared Virginia Historic Landmark and to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places. National Railroad Museum, Green Bay, daily train rides return on the 21st. Progressive and lightweight. Receiving front touches and Ridgely. Great Lakes Large Scale Train Show. Jubilee Galatea. Third guest look of its Spring Steam Gala. Southwest Rail here's their open day on the 27th. Also, Miniature Trains has a night run. And Hurricane Elsa is going to receive Brent's family of Lee Montague, Jason Nazareth, Pat Maloney, Storms All Day, Will Rascals, D. Wells, Kelsey Hooks, Gordon Faith, Doctor Who, Crime Petite, OBE, Blue Bell Railway, William Bassett, Wolves Gundam, Reveal, Batman Animated Series, Empire Strikes Back, and of course the biggest one this week, and thankfully not a joke, Val Kilmer. Batman Talking on the Doors. And I am grateful to have met him. 7 years ago. Okay, what we're interesting for the show. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna break up before we close for the week. There's my chair redressed. So we gotta get some rations to take care of. Hopefully I can get this anyone out of the way at some point as well, and amongst a few other things. And until we get to our animal trade involved in a specific area. Stay safe, stay well, get back, pray. Hopefully